Welcome. This is Personal Computer Gameplay, presenting another U-boat mission. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the show. Also, thanks Deepwater Studio and Playway for the ongoing support. I hope to be posting more content in the not-too-distant future. Thanks for watching. Best of luck.
Welcome to my new video for U-boat. Just want to start off and thank my subscribers. This game is my most popular game, and it means a lot to me that I've got people that are watching my content and actually enjoying my show or my vids. And I want to say thanks to you guys and anyone that's watching this. I want to thank you very much, and I want to talk about today. The reason I'm doing the commentary is because normally I don't. And I want to apologise about my mic. It's not the best in the world, but it's good enough to understand and hear what I've got to say. I don't intend on doing a heck of a lot of talking at this stage, but I will invest in a better one, depending on how popular the videos get, whether people like the way I say or what I say on my videos. It's all down to you guys really, how far I'll start investing in the U-boat series, because it is a great game. Everybody that plays this game is getting more and more popular. It's the type of game people really enjoy playing. And the more investment the company do, I'm sure they'll go multiplayer. Having friends, having their own U-boats and strategizing out there in the ocean, in the sea, as wolf packs, and I hope they do that. And I'll be right there with you. But anyway, today I'm starting a new game, and I'm going to set it up from the beginning. They've got a whole new area of map that I'm pretty sure we can use. I don't know much about it at this stage. I've read the update notes, and it's about damage, how to damage ships and torpedo belts, and new animations and all sorts of stuff like that. But so I thought, hey, I'm going to start a new game, and you guys will be there with me the whole way of setting it up, the crew, getting out to the first patrol route for the start of the war in 1939, and I'm going to start it now. So, new game. I'm not gonna go with the U4. I wouldn't mind starting it, maybe try using it later. But the U47, and unit type the B instead of that's U48, U48 and the U47. I'm going to stick with the 7 this time. Begin. I'm going to go hardcore. Expert. Now, as you can see, the realism is 100%. But I'm not going to sit on that. I don't want 100% realism. It's not my cup of tea. I prefer to sit around 81%. That's my style. I like to have a bit of fun when I'm out there. I don't want to have it so I'm totally struggling. I'm going to go through these quickly. I've turned darker nights are off. I don't want that. The content suffers. You can't see my sub. It's pitch black out there at sea. And I'm going to turn off disable torpedo solution previews. And also I'm going to put that to recommended on the contacts mode, because I want my crew to tell me where the subs are, and I want to be able to see them on the map. And when you turn this off, it's more realistic, I suppose, and you can really struggle to see what you're doing, but I want to see where they are. I want my hydrophone guy to tell me where they are. I want the crew to do a little bit like that, you see, and that's what I'm into. Economics, I've turned it on to medium instead of easy, because you know, I always end up with so much money doing these, more than what I need. I could turn this up to hard, to be honest with you, but nah, for this stage, I'll just for the update, I'm just going to keep it on medium. Because money's not the issue, you know. Buying torpedoes, it's all about gameplay and enjoyment. You know, I like to get into a bit of if you've seen my videos or my content, you'll see I'm a quick player. I'm not a slow, methodical player like a lot of guys. They like to manually target and stuff like that. I don't mind that stuff. I do know how to do it. I just choose, I like the crew to do it. You know, I like to get into a bit of routine where I'm setting those guys up. And if I have to manually target, I know how to do it. You know, just use a T5. That usually does the job. But for this, no. Now,
we're a well-oiled machine. Let's show the enemy what a U-boat can do.
I'm going to play the intro and start it and get to the first patrol point of the first mission of the new game, and then after that I'll film that separately. So I want to do the crew specializations and the priorities that they need to do. I'm going to do that on the way out. It's a very important part of the game is that you have the right crew set up, so you're not having to keep going over what they are doing, and they're getting their rest and automatically. They're loading up the torpedoes automatically. They're on. You've got the seamen. They're doing the right job for the right time. Very important, because you don't want to muck around with that. So I'm going to be doing that, setting that up, but I'll be tweaking that as I go. Because it's set to the hard difficulty, normally I do the balanced. It's going to be, you know, important that the crew aren't overworking all the time, so I'm consistently getting problems with them, having, you know, problems on board. Excuse me. But yeah, we'll work that out. But I wanted just to show for the content, you know, for my viewer, you know, or for the channel viewer, I should say, that you know, how to play the game and how to start it off, and you know, how to have the most fun doing it, you know. Because when you get out there and you're really doing this game, I don't know, a lot of people haven't really experienced that. They haven't played this game, but when you really get down where you're playing cat and mouse with destroyers and you're really using a bit of skill to avoid situations, that's when the game really comes into its own, and I hope people can sort of see that with my content, you know. So I'm going to play the intro right now.
Good luck on your next mission, Captain. Stay safe out there.
Welcome back. Right, so here we go. I've turned the tutorial part off, but I don't really need that. You can switch it back on each time.
Need officer.
I'm gonna now. I got the DLC, so I'm just gonna chuck them on. The red hull for the little devil design, so sort of locks in a bit. And I'm going to change it to a wood deck because it looks quite good to me. I like that. Here we go. This is the boat now.
Take a look.
Torpedoes. Make sure they're all topped up. I'm going to get the free torpedoes to begin with. The update's changed now. You can't waste time, whereas before you could load up and unload and reload. It would eat through the time, you see, so that you could get your research done. But I think they've changed that. That little avenue that people were using is no longer it's no longer a thing. So I don't need it myself personally. As you can see, look how much that's cost. I've got no money left. And loading up and unloading gear does no longer takes any time. Not good for you guys. So it's all done. But no, that's not a problem. You know, what that comes down to is, to be honest with you, it's just you're going to have to get some sea time out there to really get your research done. Now the research is done here at the headquarters. Oh, it looks like they're doing it automatically now, whereas before I used to choose what I wanted to do. So they're not doing that any longer, but hey, automatically that suits me too.
This may be your new crew. Let me know if you want to see their files.
I'm a snorkel player, right? You know, with a snorkel, I've got a whole set of routine for that. But without it, you're relying on, you know, diving and not spending too long hiding from the enemy because they will get you. That's alright. Oh, exit on that. I'll customize the crew later. I like to change the uniforms and stuff so they all look like what they're supposed to be. It's just easier for me to sort of recognize them when you're, you know, out at sea and you've got the crew that all look the sort of all dressed the same. You could see, oh, I've got crew in this place, or I've got the officer here. You know, it's easier for me, but that's not a problem. Now tasks. Oh, better put the skipper out here. I'll put his first officer there. And I'll put the technician next to those guys. And then the engineers at the bottom. So, hasn't altered that yet, but it will do later. I think you've got to muck around with that. But, what we're looking at now is that, oh, it's done it here. That's the main thing. Watch officer, 2 watch officers, schedulers. I take them off the periscope. These will increase. I might increase because these are only quick jobs that are important that need to be done ASAP. You have to use the valves or lighting, bulkheads. You've got to alter that at any time of the game. It's very important, you know, that they do it, they jump to it, because if you've got the boat, you want it to rise or fall, you want those guys to get on that job as a priority system. But it's all down to crew management. I'm going to downgrade all the rest time. In fact, I might just leave it at 11 to save mucking around with that. Going to set this to 12. Is more important than sleep. To me, having a nap is not as important as some of the jobs that you have to do. I'm going to be splitting this shift, so there's one guy up and the other guy's asleep, you see. So as you can see, 12, sleep is not as vital as loading those torpedoes. They must be in, you know. If you haven't got your torpedoes loaded up, then that's a huge amount of time you're wasting. You know, you might come across a ship at any time, and you don't want them to, you know, the torpedoes to be stored in storage. You want them inside, at least is where they're supposed to be for the maintenance. Maintenance is not so vital, you know. I could set it to this, but at this stage, just for the beginning here, I'm just going to have loading. Make sure that those torpedoes are loaded before you go to bed, and make sure that you calm down a crew member before you go to bed, because bed is like, as you know, once you're in bed, you're there for hours, and you could have a crew member, or you could have torpedoes that aren't even loaded into the right place, and they'll be in bed. Just load them up, and it takes what, an hour or whatever in the game time, in compressed time. It's a very quick process, but then go to bed. You know, if repairs, yeah, I'll assign those guys anyway to a repair. I don't necessarily want them to run to any repair, because I've only got a certain amount of like salvage replacement parts. So I don't really want them rushing in there and wasting all of those without me telling them off, because there's certain things that will break that are vital for your survival, and you don't want them really jumping to that straight away. So in fact, I might even make that 8. I tell them basically what to repair. It might be a torpedo, you know, or it might be electrics, or something like that, that are vital for us to lift the boat above the water, or otherwise you stay submerged and you cannot rise because you've run out of salvage parts, and you know, and you've got no way of rising, you know, lifting the boat up, you know, you know, you can't, no way of getting out of the situation you're in. You will stay submerged. So this here, I'm going to make this 7 and that 9, because navigation is more important than observation. You've already got your crew that are all observing out there, and you can assign them up there if you need it, but navigation, far more important, because once you lose contrast or your position out there, it takes ages to redo that, and if you're on the hunt, you do not want that. So, getting back to these, we'll be organizing these. Maybe if I tell them to do it and they don't do it, then yeah, I might be changing that, but I'm going to test that out later. Now the schedules. Now there's the night shift. See, these guys are both the officers. So I'm going to do 6 hours on, 6 hours off. The grind. This is the grind. The reason I've got them that, so they've got the breaks, they're getting the sleep, 6 hours on, 6 hours off. I mean, you know, it's a 24-hour thing out there in the boats. I'm going to leave the shifts like this at this stage, because it doesn't really matter as long as your crew is on at all times. You've got to have some crew up for the tasks. If they're not steering that boat, your boat suddenly starts veering off and disappearing over there or over here. You've got to stay on track the whole time. You must have guys on that helm. That's vital. Same with other things, but I found if they jump off that, then you'll go way, you'll start going around in circles. It's stupid, but now because I've only got one radio technician, or oh, I didn't change that. That's another thing, is that this, to me, is more important than the radio. Yes, go on the radio when you're above the water, but when you're submerged, I don't want them on the radio. I want them on the... And if you have it too high, they'll go on the radio no matter what. See, I'll put this guy as a technician officer. Oh, see how it's gone down to 3? Which I'll leave it at that. Because if you have it even in 4 or 5, he'll still jump on the radio. I want him on this for listening for contacts. Now that's more important, is knowing what's around you underwater, you know. But if they're not doing that, and I want them on, if someone's injured, I want them to run to that guy and help him. That's more important to me. And I might actually change that to 10. Sleep, it must be a high priority. As we all know, sleep is, you know, otherwise you're going to have serious problems. But they must get these other jobs done before they go to bed. Healing someone if they're sick, loading the torpedoes, they've got to be loaded, calming someone down that's freaking out, having a panic attack. I mean, think about it, you know, you can't have someone continually freaking out on the boat. You've got to have them, you know, it's only natural for people to be afraid for their lives out there underwater, you know. But so you've got to prioritize those things as more important than sleep. You know, sleep, it doesn't matter if you're up for another hour or 2, does it? You know, that's the way I think about it. You know, it's if you've got to stay out out of Betty Buys for a couple of hours or extra to get a few torpedoes loaded, hey, that's life. But anyway, that's how I think about it. But right, let's get down to... Now these are the 2 head officers, watchmen. I've set them up so one is up at all times. Everybody. There's always someone up. As you can see, always the crew is up. Now we're going to go to the squads in a moment, but as for the radio operator, I'm just going to leave that be. I could, if I had 2 of them, I'd set them up on a schedule 2 where there's one always up, but I'm going to have it so he can, if he's needed, then he'll be working. If I need him to be listening out, if we're traveling someplace or there's no real need for him to do it, I'm going to leave that open at this stage. But now, using the engineers, I want those guys to be alternate shifts. Oh, what am I doing? I want these guys alternate shifts. Because obviously you've got to have people manning those places at all times. You've always got to have someone there. And so when they're in this time, free time, they usually, if they're tired, they'll go to bed. I mean, you can have it like this, anything. This is how I understand it, is that, in fact, 4 hours on, 4 hours on, 4 hours on, 4 hours on. I'm going to do it like this. As long, see how you got 6 hours standby, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you've got someone on at all times. Now, six hour standby after doing a 4 hour shift, that's actually not too bad if you're working like that for real, but, you know, 4 hours on and then 6 hours you've got free time. You can go do a little bit here and there or whatever, you know, but you can't do anything for the crew at these times. But for at least every moment of the day, there's always one of the crew is, you know, 8 people on the squad are working on the boat, doing all the chores. They have to steer in the boat, observation. It doesn't make much difference, but for me, because I'm working the 3 shifts too, normally I work the 2 shifts. That's, if you've seen my other content, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Now, let's get to squads quickly. Now, squads of sailors, these are just the normal guys that 20, you've got 20 on board, 8, 8, 8. So if we go back to the schedule, 8 on there, 8 on there, but these guys, see, they've had all of this time to relax. So it gives them plenty of time to do their thing. Now, that keeps them happy. You don't want to overwork them, because they'll start really acting up. Now, the engineers, I want 2 of those guys. So when they come out of shift from a break, 2 sailors will join them, and whatever they're doing, they might be loading torpedoes, working on the engines. They've always got 2 sailors with them. Now I could go, that's 2, 4, 6, 7, and then 8. So I go, theoretically, that's 7. So there's 8 crew, but actually they'll be doing other jobs. So I want to maybe keep that. Just 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, and that's leaving 1 guy extra to do the other stuff like steer the boat. So that might be a problem. What I might do is turn these down to nothing and just keep the 2 on the engines. It's all about economics with the engines and loading torpedoes. The diesel will run out a lot quicker if you're not using extra sailors to help maintain the engines at the time. But I'm going to work on this, but it might change. I could actually pump up the sailors so you got 10. On the 2 shifts you can do that, 10 sailors per shift, you know, and then you get more guys on this, but just for this, until I've actually organised that. But I want to see how it goes at this stage. Okay, now let's go get the mission.
Serve as the liaison officer, relaying orders directly from the Admiralty. How may I assist you today, Captain? These are current orders headquarters. Your
These
eyes
are
only.
current orders. Right, I'm going to take the one closest because they're all the same. The other one's on the other side of England, and that means we've got to go through the English Channel. Want to sort of avoid that at this stage because I'm still sort of tweaking this. I like to have all this stuff sorted out so I've got control of the speed of the boat and the depth as well. I might have to alter this later, but that's alright. But here we go. As you can see, he's loading the torpedoes up. He's having a snooze. He's on that.
Loaded.
And there's nothing really to look at the moment. They're in, in the port. So having all the extra sailors helping him right now is pointless. But the guys on the engine and loading torpedoes, they need two guys. It speeds it right up. Now,
Set a course to these coordinates.
I'm going to set it up there, but
Half ahead.
save game. Just in case. Always save your game. There's times in this game where you might crash, or your boat you do something stupid and like you give away your position, or you haven't gone into, and you really regret you didn't save the damn game because here we go. Running 20 knots, 20 kilometers with it. I always run it here, out of here, pretty like half. I think that's forward 3. Because otherwise you start whacking in. This is on full collision, so you don't want to hit anything really. It'll do damage. You'll have to repair it. You use salvage parts. You haven't got many. I've only got like 8. Finance speaking, I've got nothing. Coffee costs more than what I've got right now. I can't even buy a cup of coffee. Right, make sure. See how it's making the quick turns? That's because I haven't turned it. If you start turning it up to full speed, it's making wider turns. It's a boat at the end of the day. And another good thing is
I need some help here.
these guys are resting. He's on his shift. He's on his shift. He's resting. This is his shift right now. You want to have one up at all times, but I've had it where in the past you set the shifts up and they stay up. They stay up the whole time. You don't want that.
Pull
So
ahead.
I don't know. This one seems to be going good, which is the main thing. Perfect weather. Got 5 seamen up. Currently 11 sailors now. As soon as you go to a red alert, every man on that boat will jump to attention. You've got the whole lot to work with. So you can set up everybody on a red alert. They become active. But when you're just sitting, just cruising normally, everyone's doing their normal, there's no direct orders, or they're on no alert. They just do their normal routine, which is the schedule that we set up. So keep that in mind. If you have got anything where you need extra crew, you just have to jump to red alert. Now I'm cruising at full speed right now. I don't need to charge up the battery. It's more economical to work at this speed, but you'll find there'll be situations where you've got to just drop it down to full speed and just go for it, because but you will not recharge your battery at flank speed. It doesn't do that. Everything's going to the engine to get top speed.
I'm gonna miss the warmth of that. These bunks, not very comfortable.
All this stuff here, this is a new port. I've never been here. I've never been through this particular part before. So this is all new to me as well. All of this through here, I've never been up this way. I don't know the depth or what's actually in, whether this is, there's ports here, Copenhagen, Denmark. But it's all the way through here, and I'm sure this is pretty much sure this is new. But it's not sending me up this way with the first mission. It's sending me through this strait here, or through this part here. Go top speed, do speed for anything to save any collision. Channel, the Kiev channel, so I'm going to quick travel through there 11 hours later. Otherwise I've got to steer the boat the whole way through, which you can do that.
Full ahead.
It's a bit choppy, the water, so I'm just going to chuck it on full flank to get that speed up.
Change course. Set a course to these coordinates. Change course.
And it's night time, so
Night
I'll
lights.
be turning on the red light.
I need some help here.
We're on this side of the now, so we have a good chance of getting enemy contact. See the extra smoke there? That's from flank, so that makes the ship more visible. But at this stage, 1939, there's not that many planes flying around, so it's not too bad like that. We're going at 33 knots. I'm going to be pressing time out to the actual patrol area soon, and that's where I will pretty much end this video for today, and I'll upload this not too distant future. But yeah, so it's all about basically setting it up. As you can see, crew are sleeping. He is sleeping while he's working the engine. He's in bed now. Let's have a look at the navigation. You're supposed to jump onto navigation. I'm in a known area at this stage, but the navigation is more important than observation, which is what they're doing at the moment.
Full ahead.
Yeah. working at full, which is 30 kilometers, 30 knots, so which is very fast. That's a fast thing. You can outrun a lot of boats with this particular. Right, now we're up to full time compression, which is the 15k. Here we go.
Merchant ship, 305 degrees.
Ah. I don't think we're at war with England yet. So I might just let that one go. In fact, that's what I'm going to do.
Captain, confirmation from the Kriegsmarine. No change in status with England or France.
Yeah. Hostile actions against them are prohibited until further notice, which means we are not sinking any of their boats for the time being. And it's coming. Basically, the war's coming. They're talking.
Flank ahead.
Yep, as you can see, they are
I need
not.
some help here.
They've got the 2 crew, which is how I set it up. This guy's asleep. He's actually sleeping a little bit too long. You see how he slept past his time. He's fully rested, and now this might have to switch those up. Less his to maybe 5 hours. 5 hours sleep, and 5 hours work, split shifts. In fact, you can look at that right now. Yeah, so he's on 6 hours now. He's getting 6 hours break. But if I move that forward and had the perhaps longer break. Anyway, that's how you tweak it anyway, so it's not important right now, as long as they're getting their rest coming out here, because if you can't set it up automatically, they will definitely not be able to be functioning if you do come across a ship, you know, they're not doing their thing. The technician, he's waiting, he's just doing what he wants until he's tired, and then he can go to bed, which is what you want too, you know, because if any incoming messages come in, he's on the radio, so you will be able to do that unless he's having a snooze. Hey, look, you know, you got to sleep sometime. It's all about they're just getting in a normal day-to-day routine. That's what all the scheduling is. Anything apart from that is to do with, you know, any type of unseen sort of type of problem that has to be sort of dealt with, and usually you control that yourself. So that's for the new players anyway. It's not for, you know, anyone that plays the game will know the stuff I'm talking about. But you know, just trying to help people sort of get an idea. Now, as you can go to the maintenance, as you can see, all the torpedoes are fully loaded, which is the main thing with me. So, but the maintenance, I'm not too worried about that. There's no ships around. We're not even at war right now. We're only heading out on a patrol, you know, like, that's all they're supposed to do. We're going out to reach the control point, and,
Target position reached. Patrol area reached.
right, I'm going to
All engines
show
stop.
my way
Periscope
of
depth.
patrolling an area. Full stop. When the engines are going, your hydrophone doesn't work as efficiently as when you are quiet sitting in the water. Now, I'm gonna submerge the boat. Eventually. Should be going down there.
Switch to electric motors.
Right. Back.
Dive to 10 meters.
5 meters.
real down here.
Current depth, 10 meters.
What I've done here is clicked this, which perform a routine just to get it. And he's now on hydrophone, which, let's have a look at that. I'm just going to show you the engines are stopped, so he's not
Set a
going to
course
set
to
course.
these coordinates.
134 kilometers all the way around. Now anything that passes through here I will hear, and it'll tell me that they're there, and that's how I accumulate. I see a lot of guys on the YouTube, and I'm not knocking, they're great players. There's one guy there, he's actually a German content provider for this game here, and he's a great player. He knows how to manually target torpedoes better than me by far. But I noticed when he went on a patrol, he was motoring around, and I thought, why are you doing that? You don't need to.
Man the radio room.
Patrolling is basically holding a location and listening for your targets in a shipping lane. And I don't motor around because your hydrophone is far more efficient when there's no noise around you. It can hear a lot further. And that's how you patrol an area. You just sit there, wait, listen for your prey, you know.
Report sent.
Excuse my way of saying that, but to me it's fun.
Man the listening room.
That's what the game's all about to me, is sitting in the shipping line. I know that ship is coming up this way, so there's a very good chance that this is the shipping lane here. Now, I can't sit here without the snorkel, but normally I'm perpetually underwater. And I can just sit there for days and days just listening out. And if I don't have any contacts, I will move to another place and do it again, you know, and then compress time. And that gives the crew plenty of time to relax. You know, relaxing the crew, stressing the crew out every 5 minutes is not cool. You want them fully energized, you know, for when you're in battle. You know, you want them like always happy, you know, and relaxed. They haven't got much, and that's what sitting there is all about. You just sit there and listen and rely on your equipment to do the job. So as you can see, there's no contacts here. Even though I've got the guy here, he's listening. Let's compress time even more, you know. Anything that comes through this area here, I will know it. So he's going to have to go for a sleep. Oh, oxygen.
Blow the tanks.
Blow the tanks. That's the problem
Current
without
depth,
the
5
snorkel.
meters.
When you compress time, your air quality goes down 20. I could turn the old thing on, but there's no real point. I might as well just take it up to the surface. It fills up very quickly,
Switch to diesel engines.
and then I go down again.
Periscope depth. Switch to electric motors.
Captain, we're at periscope depth. Ready for surface observation.
Obviously, from what you can see, is that there's no boats coming through this particular area, which, hey, that's life. I'll just move to another location. So if I want to catch what's going on here, the best place
Set a
would be
course
here.
to these coordinates. Blow the tanks. Switch to
Now I don't
diesel
want to
engine.
go up flank, I want to go up forward 4, because
Of course, Captain. Captain, we've risen to the surface.
let's just see how it's charged up the, if you have it flank, you won't charge your, you know, your capacitors, you know, your batteries. So you want that.
I could use some help over here.
Soon as he's finished with navigation, I can see you've got crew up there already. There's nobody around right now. They're not seeing anybody, so it's not imperative you have one of the officers up there. Just have one of the crew. As long as you've got the crew up there looking around, keeping an eye out for something. But the navigation is very important. That's more important than actually observation for the officers, because that's the bilge there. And
Regular lights.
more lighting. It's daytime. At night, you turn to the red light. It'll tell you this stuff when you're playing the game, but this is how I do it. So I'm going to move it to this locale.
Captain, urgent message from OKM. We're at war with Britain.
Ah, okay. It's all on. So right, I think I'm going to leave it there for this particular episode, but the next one is actually start to really kick in there. And but if you like the commentary I'm doing, put a like and subscribe there. But if you don't, then don't. I can't twist your arm about that, but yeah, it'd be good to have a bit of feedback. If you do like the commentary, you want to hear more of the battle type of side conversational sort of commentary which is coming. This is more just setting you guys up so you can head out there and you know, the big blue and actually get some kills going on, because it's going to be an interesting game in the next future because they've made it more realistic. They've got the new sub coming. They've also got this whole area here. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm going to have to read up on this and find out, get a bit more information. But if you like I say, if you need to know anything, if you wanted me to make a video on how to use the fat torpedoes or the loot torpedoes and what they're actually, I don't use them in my playstyle, but I know how to use them. It's to do with in pursuit and when they're coming your way, you can actually, they're actually brilliant if you're chasing. If you're chasing a fleet, because which I don't normally do, you see, I do it another way. But how I can really just show you a demonstration on my way of using the loot and the fat torpedoes. You know, that's I've actually worked out how to do it. I sat there for a few hours one day playing around with them, which most people would do. But it's finding a use for that particular type of torpedo. You know, and that's what. That's really your game style, is whether that torpedo is actually the one you want to use. You know, in pursuit of a convoy, they're very good, but I don't really get into that situation where I'm actually chasing convoys. I get into other side where I'm hitting them from the side, or the damages are I'm ahead of them, you know. So that's really what I do. But yeah, if you really want to see that, I can actually show you another way of you know, using the loot and fat, is where you go in front of the convoy and you go into like a sort of reverse type of strategy where you're traveling faster than just as fast as the convoy from the front, and you're using the fat and the loot torpedoes. If you want to see it, I can show you anytime. You know, that was how I started playing this game, was learning. I used to sit in front of the convoy and go in reverse and just keep shooting torpedoes into the convoy. That's how I started playing the game. So I do have a total sort of attack pattern using that strategy. So if you want to see that, or if you're interested, you know, or just like and subscribe, you know, it'll you know, the more activity I get, the more you know, the more people that watch this stuff and they like what I'm doing, the more time I'll spend making these things for you guys, you know. But obviously, if it's not getting much activity, but U-Boat's my most popular game I've got on my channel at this stage, and because I've been playing the Division 2. Working on my expertise points, you know, I can put some really good skill builds, and I've got a signature build at the moment, signature weapon build on that. But I'm not going to talk about another game on the U-Boats cards, so yeah, I might be posting a bit on that too, actually. But yeah, I'm actually getting, you know, getting good at that one as well. But if I've got more activity on the U-Boat, then yeah, why not, you know. So give us a yell, put a like and subscribe. I want to hear those channel sort of comments. You know, if you got anything to say, I want to hear it, you know, because that's what the channel's about. So anyway, I'll leave you there, and the next video will be continuing from this place here. So I'll be saving the game now. Like that. And in the next video will be a continuation from here. And let's see what we can get up to with the new update. There's going to be new damage buffers, and there's new settings and all sorts of things. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. The games, they really work. See, it's not like normal games. The U-Boat, the developers, they're actively changing and making this game a lot better. Changing this, changing that, which I love it. It's easy to make a game and it's really nice. But when they're actually working on it, continually working on it, that's, and adding and improving a game. That's good. To me, I like that. So yeah. So I'm going to help them. I'm going to post their stuff and let you guys sort of. But anyway, me waffling on. Thanks so much for listening and watching, and take care and have a nice rest of the day, and be safe, and good luck to everybody. Cheers. Thank you. Bye.